Hi, welcome back to the floors of the CME group where it's all been happening lately, and it's because we've got a weather market on our hands the first time in a while. And the weather market's not hot and dry, it's the opposite. It's cold and wet, which I'm sure you're very well aware of. Let's talk about corn for a second. Yesterday we had crop progress and emergence. The crop progress number came out at 92% planted. That was what the trade expected. There's been debate of whether that number is real or not, but that's the number we have to use, so that's the number we're going to go with. The 5-year average is 100%. So it's all on the ground by now, and I talked to some guys down south that would expect corn to be tasseling in the next week or two. So that'll give you a good idea about how far behind we are. That leaves about 7.2 million acres unplanted. Now, again, that's another hotly contested number. That's the number that we've been given from the government, so we're going to have to go with that. But that's also going to be a problem. So what we've got lining up here is that, and I've said this before, we've got, when we have a hot and dry issue, the trade and speculators and investors get out in front of that really quickly, and they drive that market up pretty quickly, pretty fast. But now with this wet and cool, that's kind of like the big stone ball from Raiders of the Lost Ark. It starts rolling, albeit not very fast, but it's not going to be stopped. And it just feels like we're gaining momentum here, because this is a story that's going to run all summer, because we're not going to really know until we finally put things in the bin. And the farmers I talk to, the big investors that we speak to, are concerned that this is just going to continue to play out and it's going to roll on into beans. You'll see the same thing started happening over there, because look, the knee-high by the 4th of July thing with corn, that's been a fallacy. It's usually 6 feet tall by then. But for once, we might actually get knee-high by the 4th of July, because it'll be so slow. So we've got a 79% of the corn is now emerged versus a 5-year average of about 100%. So again, these numbers that I'm throwing out to you, don't let them glaze your eyes over. They're all pretty significant, and they're pretty significantly behind. And that's going to prove to be a problem. Now, we're still looking at trendline yields, and it's just not going to be the case. And depending on what scholar you want to look at, we're anywhere between, say, 10 to 20, maybe 25% below trendline, and that hasn't really come out to the forefront yet. So we've had a big rally in corn behind me to help offset that, but it's still going to be an issue. So it's something that, again, we were down 5 cents today. Good bull markets make it difficult to stay long, right? They flush out those week longs. We did that today after last night's crop progress and emergence numbers, and we'll see what we get going on for the rest of the week. But it still is going to be a little wet around here, and that's going to be the case going forward. So again, we won't actually know until we put it in the bins, and that's going to be the key. So that's it for me. I'm Scott Shellady here on the CME Group floors.